back to the KBMC kitchen, and I am Bruce Whitworth, the sous chef for KBMC, and this is module number 2, which is titled, Where Does It All Belong? If you think about it, we've just finished the complete dish room training and literally washed every dish into place, and now we have to ask, where does it all belong and why? Everything in this kitchen has a place. Everything in a professional kitchen has a place and a reason for being there. Maybe it's just because that's where I like it. Maybe it's because it's a safety precaution. Maybe it's because it's convenient for everybody and ultimately increases productivity. As we go through this module, again, no condemnation, no criticisms, just simply pay attention to where things are, where they belong, and we'll move forward from there. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's consider our major prep area and the specific things that go in this area. In this area we keep all of our steam table pans for the most part, our utensils, our pots and pans, our spices, our timers, all of the little tools that we use as the cook, the main cook, in the process of preparing the dish. The stove and all the appliances are here. This is our main prep area, and it's very important that these things be where they're supposed to be. And let's take a look at what we've got, just so you can understand how things could be a little chaotic. Hey, so what's going on here? You recognize this as a place where we keep virtually all of our steam table pans, but why is it always so chaotic? You reach in for a deep pan, you get a shallow pan. You reach in for a normal full-size pan and you get one that's chock full of holes. These don't go like this. Look, deep pans, not shallow pans. Hey, and deep pans go on deep pans. Shallow pans go on shallow pans. Hey, I've got two deeps. Oh look, these are shallow. These are deep here. We've just got to stop and think about what we're putting away and where it belongs. It's about professionalism, and we're professional people. I know we can do this right. Okay, let's consider the chaos potential for our pan rack and our herb shelf. If we look, we'll note that holding our pans are specially designed hooks, which each have 2 fingers. And each finger is designed to hold 1 pan. 1 finger, 1 pan. This is important. Frequently like this, we'll find 3 pans on 1 hook, or 3 on one side, 1 finger holding 3 pans. That's a lot to bear. The problem with this is that it makes getting a simple pan down chaotic. If I need the one in the middle, or if I need the one on the back, and I'm trying to have to dig through all the pans now in order to get to the one I need. If we have 1 pan on 1 finger, and we have them in a uniform order, it makes life so much easier. We'll talk about that in a moment. But let's look now at our herb rack. What is this? We have stuff left over, containers of open food, things that were used on the last meal or the last day's service. We have to go in here and recognize what doesn't belong, and at the end of our meal, we need to make sure we put away the leftovers, not shove them into the freezer, not shove them under something, or just leave them lay out. We need to bundle those things up, label them properly, date them, tape them shut, put some use first stickers on it, and put it back in the pantry or back in the fridge or back where it belongs, so that when we come to find it the next day, or whoever is working after us goes to look for it, they won't have to search everywhere. They'll know it's in the pantry. That's where it should be. Let's go look there first. We look at our herbs. A common thing that we discover here with our herbs are that I can walk in and tell which herbs were used last, and that's because the labels are backwards. The labels are backwards. If you notice the herbs, they have a pattern to them that maybe is only for me, but in as much, this is important. We go through herbs to spices to savories, and finally to seeds. And there's a natural flow to it. As we get these things established, we'll be able to just reach up almost blindly and not worry about it. One of the worst things that happened to me the other day was somebody had used cinnamon, but put it where the cumin goes. Cinnamon and cumin, very similar in color, totally different flavors. If I sprinkle a tablespoon of cinnamon into a batch of Philly cheesesteak, the result is catastrophic. And that's exactly what happened. It's not necessarily anybody's fault but my own, because as the cook, I'm responsible to look at what I use. But wouldn't it be nice if all the labels were always facing out, so that at a glance I could see the name of the spice I was about to use? As we continue to look around, we see hooks that are missing things. We see order, and we try to find ways to make it smooth. So now let me go back and let's just look at everything from the beginning as if it were all put away in the right position. So in the ultimate best practice, in my opinion, and what I want to see here is order as opposed to chaos. You'll notice there's an opening here. This opening is very important because this is a primary work area. So it needs to be open so that light comes in and so that there's clarity and we can see all of our tools available to us. For that reason, I like to have large pans. All the pans are on the outside. All the skillets are on the inside. Large pans are on the end. Large pan on the end. Small pans are to the middle. Small pan, large pan, large pan. See how that flows? Little pans, skillets, all on the inside. Very simple. Large at the ends, small in the middle, skillets, small pans on the inside. On our under rack that we have hanging here, we've got our ladles all together, and OCD, bear with me, they're in an order that is large, medium, and small. See, there's a pattern. Patterns make us happy. Tongs, all of our tongs are here. Our whisks hang here. Our cores here, and this is kind of a catch-all for small little things. On occasion, the measuring spoons will be here, but that's not really where they go. Measuring cups hang here, always hanging down. The goal being to not have, if things are hanging up, okay, and they can hang up, stuff falls out of the vent, it goes into the measuring cup. Maybe we catch it, maybe we don't. So let's hang things down. All of our herbs, again, back in the right order. Familiarize yourself where they're at. And in fact, the best thing to do is use one at a time. Pull it out, measure it out, put it back facing out, so that you can look up and see where it came from and what it was, and know that you're putting it right back in the same spot. We have our timer, we have our oils, we have all of our seasonings are all nice and neat. Here's another thing. Scissors. Put them in the scissor holder. Pin in the scissor holder with the pins. They all go in there together. We keep clips in this thing. Don't throw paper in there. Don't throw anything but clips in the clip holder. We keep our binders, our tape, everything contained, everything in its place. On the lower level, we have our oils and our wraps. Our gloves should always be stacked on the far side over here. This gives us access to them when we're heading out the door. It gives us access to them when we're working on the station. We've talked about the pans underneath. Now let's look at the drawer. The utensil drawer. Look at this utensil drawer. Imagine if I knew that I needed a specific scoop or portioner or spatula or anything. The odds of finding it quickly, successfully, where are my measuring spoons, you know? Oh, here they are, all the way at the bottom. Well, that's where I should have thought to look for them, all the way at the bottom. What a chaotic mess. There are tools in here that don't even belong in here. How should this look? Let's consider. Isn't it lovely? We have spoons and scoops here. We have portioners. We have spatulas, and we have spatulas. All the measuring cups are in the back, the rolling pin in the front. This is order. This takes very little time. If I know I'm looking for a spoon, guess what? I'm not digging through the whole thing. I go right here to where the spoons are. I can see the spoons. I can see their handles. I can recognize them. The portioners, their colored handles are all visible in this position. The spatulas are here. Even these spatulas for the griddle, notice that the things that we use the least are on the bottom. Things that we use most commonly are on top, including our pie spatula. Okay, here we have another area of great interest to me and ultimately another area of frustrating chaos. Let's consider this. First, we've already talked about the vegetable pans, the ones we use in the steamer for vegetables. They go here. They don't have to be on top. Look, we've got all of our long full-size pans here, the deep ones, and they can sit right on top because we all know that ultimately the holy full-size pans and the deeper full-size pans are all right here. So we know where to come look for them. Not over there, right here. Now this is a frustration. Do you see that just happen? It's just like, what is this? Here we have our cutting boards. And when we bought these cutting boards, it came with this amazing rack that allows us to put all of our cutting boards in there. Now let's talk about the cutting board. You'll notice that the cutting board is shaped with a little divot here, which is actually a handle. It's intended to make it super easy to pull it out. But what happens is like this. Here's one that's backwards. If it's in backwards, then you got to grab it, and if you got stuff on your fingers and whatever, it's everywhere. So listen, here's the ultimate thing. Oh, and here's my other kind of a pet peeve as I'm going off now. This rack. This is a rack we use in a full-size pan when we fry. This should always be in the last bay, okay? We have just enough of these bays that if we put our big boards to the left, stuff. Higher up, we've got, again, cookies that really are out of place. These are the new ones that came in. They can be on the bottom. We can actually sit a plastic tray of cookies on top of it. We won't damage the cookies. So let's keep those all together. We keep our metal pans here. This is important too. These are really kind of pristine as metal pans go, the cookie sheets go. These are nice ones. You'll know after you've been here for a very short period of time, we get some crappy pans in. We keep at least 9 of these pans here all the time. There's a tendency, and I'll show you an example, we will mark on there KBMC, we will write our initials on there so we kind of keep track of them. For some reason there's a tendency periodically to send these pans, these beautiful pans, back to Kettering and we lose out. We keep our cookie pans, our half pans. Up on top we keep our pots. They're all full of soup in the fridge right now, so they're not here. This is where these things go. This is ordered. This is okay. This is acceptable. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it's order, and that's what we're searching for. And finally, in the Where Does It Go module, we bring you this ultimate potential for chaos. You know, you can see that we've arranged the pops now. We have pars and we keep them in order. We use this as a way to stage our pops so that we know what we're going to sell and what we need. It makes it easy for us to see what we have and know exactly how many we need. Up here we keep our salad bar utensils, all of our plastic utensils covered and kept neat. All of our containers for our condiments are here, and this gets out of hand very quickly. When they closed tonight, they did a great job of straightening it up and organizing it. It's not always this way. It's frequently upside down, falling over. We need to keep a focus on this and keep it straight. On the end over here we have certain components that are for the salad bar, like croutons, we have granola, we keep some bowls and some random things in there. But look, even this, we find traces of, you know, why is that there? Why do we need oatmeal here when we have a pantry where we can keep it? It's just things that get pulled out. We forget about them. We get used to seeing them out of place and we keep them there. Another example is here in our salad bar containers. You know, there's some chaos happening right now, even as we look at this. Because look, here's a short one on top of the tall ones. Here are clear ones, which clearly could be here, on top of the black ones. We don't put the black ones, or the clear ones, we don't put the clear ones on the salad bar. We shouldn't necessarily stack them up. some of this may seem very anal, may seem very small, like it's nothing, but these small chaoses lead to bigger chaoses and even bigger chaoses. When we pull these things together, they're neat, they're orderly, we see what we have, we know what's missing, and we know where to go to get it. Again, we keep condiments like syrups and brown sugar normally there. Neat job on the bowls. Frequently these bowls are flipped all over the place and look like they're about to fall down because we have big ones and small ones and big ones on top of small ones. Small ones on the bottom, big ones on top. Remember the pans? Big ones on the outside, small ones and skillets on the inside. There are patterns that promote really fluid motion and fluid work, and that's what we're all about. That's what we're trying to reach the next level and be more productive in what we do in this kitchen. I want to thank you for your attention. I hope that you're able to receive some of the flow of the things that create chaos, create problems, and throw us off in our effort to smoothly get through the hectic day that we have here frequently. So, again, the purpose of this module, to find a one best method for how we arrange our pans, our utensils, our spices, how we keep our area clean and ordered. And we talked about accessory areas with the cookie sheets and the condiments. And I really hope you'll focus on how can we make these areas neat and tidy and organized, which will ultimately speed up our function and make us more effective in everything we do. I hope you'll take this training to heart and see how you can apply it to help you and us as a team reach the next level. Thank you.